Alright, y'all. So today I wanted to do a very quick review of Bully, Kanye West's new latest album, his, I believe, 12th studio album. And yeah, just wanted to give you my thoughts on it. Like any Ye release, this album was delayed a lot of times. There was also a lot of controversy and some worry to it. But finally it came out, and I gave it a few listens, and I just wanted to give you my honest to God thoughts here. So, going into this record, first for a little background, I'm a pretty big fan of Kanye West's music. Not too much of a fan of some of his remarks he's made over the past few years, but I mean, his discography really speaks for itself. It's legendary. There's some great albums, and in general, I think he has one of the best discographies of all time. And, in a lot of ways, of course, many artists have been influenced by him, and he's made some really good music. That being said, I think he's really dipped in quality over the past few years. I think it all kind of started with Donda a little bit. I really like that album, Donda. Then he made Donda 2, which was a really rushed kind of mess. And then he made the Vultures albums, which were a collab album with Ty Dolla $ign, which, had some really good moments to them and some really good songs. But I think overall, the quality definitely started to go down. And there was a lot of talk about him using AI, and I was quite worried about his upcoming solo album, Bully. Now, I think it was good that he didn't do Vultures 3. I think it was best that he decided to make a solo album again, since it's been about, I believe, 4 to 5 years, depending if you count Donda 2, a full release of his latest solo, basically of a solo album. And I was worried, like, oh, is this going to be kind of an AI mess, and so on and so on. Now, finally, with the full release of this project, it's good that Ye came out and said there's apparently no AI. Now, I'm not exactly sure if that's 100% true, but I mean, he said it himself, so it is what it is. Now, finally, I listened to the album, and overall, what is my general opinion of it? Well, I can definitely say Bully is his best album since Donda, for sure. It's better than Donda 2. It is better than Vultures overall in quality. I just think that it's kind of like a thing where it's like people are kind of screaming online, oh yeah, Kanye's back. The GOAT is back. I think this album proves in a lot of ways he's still got it. But I also think in a lot of ways, I think there's a lot of underwhelming aspects of this album. So I would say that overall, we're somewhat back with this album. In terms of my opinions, I think it overall is pretty good. It's pretty good. I would say it's a good project, if not decent to good level project. There's some really good songs here. There's some really good aspects of this album. But I think overall, it could have been a lot better than the version that we got released. To start out with the pros, there's some great tracks on this thing. I think the first track, King, which I believe he had another track called King on Vultures. But yeah, we have another track called King, and this is a pretty good one. I like the braggadocious lyrics. It's pretty good. I think, like, for example, the first half of the album is really solid in terms of quality. This Is a Must is pretty good. Father, which had a video attached to it, is kind of been leading as a single. Travis jumps on it, and it's a really good flow between them two. I really enjoy the track. The music video is kind of strange, but I enjoy the track. Personally speaking, All the Love is my favorite track on the album. I know I've heard some people complain about it and yada yada. It's kind of one of those leftover tracks that got leaked a while back, but it kind of got upgraded here. Incredible track. Production, lyrics. Yeah, it's simplistic lyrics, but I mean, incredible track. Punch Drunk is really cool. Whatever Works. Kind of a harken back to Kanye West's old sound from like the College Dropout days with that kind of chipmunk kind of style production and all that. Pretty good songs though. Mama's Favorite. It's kind of a tribute song to Donda, his mother. Really good. Really good track. I really like it. Even the little part of it is really good. Sisters and Brothers, I like quite a bit. I like the beat to it. I like the lyrics. I think it should have been fleshed out a little bit. It's pretty good. Bully, the title track, is really good too. I really like the beat to it. I like the style. It's really a solid track. So I think you're going to see throughout the album, there's a lot of really good and solid tracks. And all the lyrics that Kanye has here are kind of introspective. Some of them are braggadocious, but there's nothing crazy he's saying in terms of controversies. And thankfully, he has toned down the Nazi remarks. So that's always a good sign. Highs and Lows is a really good track. I love the production on it. I will say that lyrically, it could have been a bit more, but it's really good. And then I think the rest of the album really kind of falls apart, and I think it kind of shows that he probably didn't have enough material to flesh his out fully, or at least he needed more time to cook it. I'm not exactly sure, but he had I Can't Wait, which is also a really good one. Then he had White Lines, which I think was like a cover song. I could be mistaken. That one's pretty lame. Circles was a pretty bad track. Don Tolliver's on it, and you could hear him a little bit in it, but it sounds extremely unfinished, and it probably shouldn't have been on the album. Preacher Man. I will say this. Preacher Man, it was one of the songs that we heard going up to this release, and I like it, but I do think a lot more needs to be added to it. I think lyrically, production-wise, there's just not much of the song, besides the really good sample. Beauty and the Beast is similar, but I think works a lot more better, and it's actually one of my favorite songs on the album. It's a nice interlude. Damn, I like the more introspective lyrics here. I just think that a bit more needs to be added to it. Last Breath is an attempt to, I guess, tap into the Latin market. Peso Puma's on the song, and I gotta be honest, mate, it is not a good song. I really didn't enjoy it. I really did not like the production choices. I think, like I said before, it could have been released as a single, but I don't think it needed to be on the album. Not really great. And this one here is kind of a whatever, kind of closer, at least in my opinion. So yeah, there's some really good quality tracks on here, and there's some really good high moments, but to kind of get into my cons, the album feels a little undercooked. I think that maybe Kanye needed a bit more time. Maybe he could have cut out some songs. There's just certain songs here that are just kind of whatever, There could have been a lot more lyrics added to it, a lot more interesting production choices, songs that I think need to be fully fleshed out and finished. I think that Kanye probably needed a little more time with this. And I think that's what really prevents Bully to be something greater than it could be. Now, I'm not exactly sure if Kanye is going to go back to this album like he did with The Life of Pablo and update it. I'm not exactly sure. I actually hope he does. But I think that, like I said, there's a potential for some of these songs to be really good. I just think that some of these are really undercooked and underdeveloped. And that's the biggest flaw of this album. It's just undercooked. There's tracks that kind of linger around lyrically, instrumental-wise. They don't really go anywhere because they're not fully fleshed out. I'm not sure if this was an attempt to booster up the track list at the last minute. I think probably this album would have benefited if it was just like a 10-track kind of album. And then I would have probably had a more positive rating of it. But since it's, like I said, 18 tracks, it's a bit more confusing. And it's also weird that the whole physical releases and certain aspects of the release of this album, I mean, I'm, like I said, listen to it on digital, but if you buy the vinyl and stuff, apparently you're getting still, like, previous versions of track lists, tracks that are not even on the album, and apparently versions of the tracks that still have the AI vocals. It is so weird. And I also think some of the vocal delivery is a hit and miss from Kanye, but to kind of quickly wrap this up, overall, Bully is definitely a step in the right direction. I think Kanye West came back stronger here than he has since Donda. This is his best album since Donda. It feels more focused. It feels more interesting lyrically, song-wise. I just feel like overall it's underdeveloped. It just needed more time in the oven, so to speak, more fleshed out concepts and ideas, and this could have been something like truly amazing. So I would say that yes, this is absolutely a win. Kanye definitely came back with this one, but it's not a full comeback, right? There's aspects of this I feel like are undercooked and could have been a lot better. But overall, to me at least, it's still a solid, a decent, a good album, and I wasn't extremely disappointed by it. Like I said, I was expecting a lot worse going into Bully. I was expecting something worse than Vultures too. So I am pleasantly surprised it didn't come out to it. Basically, it didn't come to that level, but it could have been a lot better. So yeah, my thoughts on Bully, the newest album from Kanye West. All right, y'all. Hope you have a good day and peace, y'all.